12.58.
That's 2 to 1.
That's 2 to 1, yeah.
That's like 2 to 1. Never mind. That's very good. Very good in that.
Yeah, see, but it's like the man who went to the dentist, wasn't it? And his appointment was at 2:30.
2:30. Yeah, it was the worst time to see a dentist. 2:30.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's all Christmas cracker jokes, isn't it? Talking about Christmas cracker jokes and things like that. Apparently, universities have been told they shouldn't automatically bump up students who just miss out on a top degree amid fears about the rise of soft firsts. Apparently, there are concerns some may be upgrading borderline cases, regardless of the circumstances, in a move that may undermine confidence in standards.
And therefore, it comes into society.
It does.
This is a bit of a bugbear of mine, because we see it in the education establishment. And the bottom line is, you take an assessment, you do an exam, you get whatever you got. You've either passed or failed. You've got a credit, you've got a distinction, whatever it is. And the bottom line for all of this, they definitely should not bump these up.
No,
people have got to learn. Everything in life appears to come too easy now. Nowadays, for example, if we want a new washing machine, we just go out, get it on a credit card. Don't matter what age you are, that's what happens. Now, I can remember, even back in 1978, we saved up for weeks and weeks and weeks so we could buy a blooming washing machine or a tumble dryer or something.
We didn't have a washing machine, we had a boiler with a ringer.
And I think this is part of it. And if we allow people to have their marks bumped up, and let's face it, why is this? It's because of statistics.
Yeah.
You've got to be having 83% must pass. End of story. How you do it, they don't care, providing perhaps they don't know how you've done it.
But isn't it
it's just a figure?
Isn't it also the case, as you say, of society in the respect that, if Lord Beauchamp's son goes to Oxford, and just is a little bit lower than the first, but because it's Lord Beauchamp's son, Charles, they bung him up.
They do. They do. But your students have got to actually be there, haven't they, to learn, haven't they? Because they're not there half the time, are they?
Certainly some of them have not. And you've got to give credit to a lot of students because they do put in a lot of hard work.
But then again,
the unfortunate thing is that where we are, we get those people that don't go to university, obviously, or those that don't really want to do anything, and they're forced because they have to do education up to the age of 18. And that does not bode well for further education. But having said that, it is down to statistics. And if they can bump someone up by a couple of marks, as Mike indicated, particularly with certain people, because they're expected to be cleverer and so on, then it will happen. And unfortunately, it is wrong, because there's only one way society's going to go. It is dumbing down all the time.
I was astounded by listening to a student being interviewed on Radio 4 last week, I think it was, and the guy said to me, what are you studying at university? And the bloke said, I can't remember what it was now, but oceanology or something like that, So the guy said, he said, well, you want to go into... No, he said, I'm no interest in that whatsoever. He said, I just want to come out with a degree.
There are loads of worthless degrees, and I'm sure there are oceanologists out there, and that is a very good point. People just want to go to university for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, just have a high old time, come out of it.
Sounds great, doesn't it? Wouldn't all of us do that, though, if we had the chance? We go and spend a couple of years having a great time, loads of people your age, cheap booze, good company. Why wouldn't you do that?
Running up a massive debt, doing something that you are never going to get a job in, because the law of averages dictates there can only be X amount of oceanologists.
Yeah, but they're never going to pay that debt back, are they? Because they're never going to get a job, are they?
No, I mean, and it's all down to the amount of money you're actually earning before you start paying it back in.
25 grand, isn't it? What it was at the moment.
Yeah, but even then, you're paying a very limited amount back. It's. I think, we've got to stop knocking students for a start, because, again, it's the minority that are given the majority of the bad name, because there's a tremendous amount of kids go to university and they work their socks off to get a good degree and all the rest of it, and as you say, they come out with a big debt around their neck, but okay, so they go and they get their job, and then, all right, they don't have to pay it back until they're earning quite a lot of money, but once they're earning quite a lot of money, so they pay the debt back.
Yeah, but do you believe that the taxpayer should pay for them to go to university? Because I don't, because not everybody's as privileged to go to university, and why should we pay them? You're paying people that are going out and theoretically getting a lot more pay than we've ever had. So what is wrong with them paying for their education? I don't see a lot wrong in that.
That's another debate.
We've already paid for their education up to the time of 18, haven't we? As taxpayers, or former taxpayers.
Well, no. I mean, my father paid for my education. That's not where it got me.
How did your father pay for your education?
Because I went to private school.
Oh, did you?
So
real fee paying school?
Yes, it was.
I didn't know that.
It cost a lot of money as well, so...
Revelations.
And I was a reprobate.
Grumpy old men.
Yeah, I was a reprobate, so...
You still are?
Well, I know, but I was even worse then,
I don't know about that.
Used to spend more time away from school, and I did at it, but never mind. There we go. It's 21 minutes past 9 o'clock here in Milton Keynes. I'm Mike Barry.
I'm Bob Bluffield.
I'm Kev Slaymaker.
I'm Alan Mallion.
And together, of course, we are...
The Grumpy Old Men.
So little time, so much left to do. The tides are running wild, taking me away from you. If I'd known then what we both know now, I would have given anything to keep you safe somehow. How can you love if you've never tasted tears? How can you live without love? The day is gone, there's no turning back. Nothing stays the same. Don't let this emptiness get hold of you. The sun will rise again. Close your eyes, don't be afraid to dream. Everything must change. Only believe and it will be true for you. The sun will rise again. Love has its price, and everyone must pay. Just as I must set you free and watch you fly away. But how can you love if you've never tasted tears? How can you live without love? The day is gone, there's no turning back. Nothing stays the same. Don't let this emptiness get hold of you. The sun will rise again. Close your eyes, don't be afraid to dream. Everything must change. Only believe and it will be true for you. The sun will rise again.
in Bluntstone there, and
the sun will shine again.
Sorry, say it again.
The sun will shine again.
That's better, but cast your eye across.
I did, I saw that, but that's your fault.
When it's down there like that,
that's your fault.
When it's down there like that, it means that the listener can't hear you. That's right.
That's your fault. That's your fault. You're sabotaging me.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, you should be sabotaged. I'm going to teach you how to learn.
Another good word.
Yeah, another good word.
Some excellent words today.
Right. I can do the desk.
Here we go. This is going to get you going. Men could become pregnant tomorrow thanks to advances in womb transplantation, according to a leading fertility expert. Dr. Richard Paulson said that now wombs have been successfully transplanted into women born without them. Trans women, people born biologically male but who have had sex change surgery, will also want a womb transplant. This would allow them to carry a baby, and there was no scientific reason why it would not happen, he added.
It won't happen with me.
Well, you're not a trans woman, are you?
That's true.
You know, in fact,
the last time I looked.
You're not a trans anything, are you, really?
Trans women programmed for pain like a normal woman.
Well, I really...
such things as childbirth.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Uncle Kevin.
When asked whether men having babies was pie in the sky, he said, well, you're talking about trans women, someone who started out as a man who became a woman. There would be an additional challenge, but I don't see any obvious problem that wouldn't preclude it. I think it'd be quite possible.
Who said this?
Dr. Richard Paulson.
Oh, he's English, is he?
Well, I don't know. It's got an English-type name.
Could be American.
He explained that one problem is that the male pelvis would not allow a baby to pass through it because it is too narrow, so a man would have to give birth by caesarean section. Oh, sorry.
We can rebuild them, yes.
If you're having your breakfast at the moment, or whatever, you know,
that's the sound of the paper being screwed up and thrown across the room. Kevin actually came out with quite a good statement while we were off air and discussing that one. That women should be women, shouldn't they? Go on.
I did, yeah. Women.
You drop yourself in it, not me.
That is nature, and blokes are blokes.
Yeah.
And well, what is nature? It's the male of a species. It is a female of the species.
But listen,
we are not hermaphrodites, are we?
Hang on, poor women. You know, they always say try before you buy, but women are having a problem when they're looking for makeup because a lot of makeup testers in stores. It's probably not a good idea to try before you buy because a microbiologist has warned because of the risk of herpes and salmonella. Using the same lipstick as other people can mean picking up tiny droplets of their saliva which carry the herpes virus.
Quite right.
Meanwhile, mascara wands or eyeliner, whether tried out as testers on makeup stands or shared between friends, may lead to a nasty case of pink eye. Pink eye. Oh, it's like ribeye, isn't it? Ribeye steak.
Pink eye steak.
Yeah.
Ribeye steak.
Other risks from shared makeup include salmonella and E. coli, as well as skin flare-ups from bacteria on other people's faces.
We are doomed, Captain Mainwaring. We are doomed.
Well, you just got to stop going into these places and trying their makeup on, Bob. You know, I mean,
that's put an end to my ventures into Boots makeup counter.
Well,
I'm never going to put another eyeliner on again after reading this article.
You could get salmonella or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, so
I can't see the problem. Just use a permanent marker.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, forever.
Well, these women have you seen these women that do their eyebrows? The sort of black marks.
You should know somebody who does that. That's strange, isn't it?
I think it looks very attractive, actually.
Well, I don't know. It
doesn't suit you, does it?
Absolutely weird, you know. Here we go again. Ministers provoked anger yesterday by scrapping the blanket ban on prisoner voting. The Justice Secretary, David Livingstone, we talked about this last week, I think, Lidington caved in to European judges announcing that serving inmates would be allowed to take part in elections. However, it would only be convicts out of jail on day release who are still on the electoral roll will qualify, and that's expected to be fewer than 100.
I think Alan influenced that last week. Yeah. He was in favour.
That is absolutely outrageous that people are even thinking about a prisoner being allowed to vote.
Yep.
You are in prison because you have gone against society. Why should you have any say in the matter?